Hello, welcome back to Larry's Vintage and Engineering. Now, today's problem is dribbling windscreen washers. We've all had it at some point, I'm guessing. Sometimes it's if they get frozen up, but in this instance it wasn't, and it wasn't blocked pipes either. And what it was this little beastie here. Okay, now this is a check valve or anti-siphon valve, call it what you will. Now the reason that's in there is so that when you press a windscreen washer, they are pretty much instant. Okay, because if you didn't have that, what would happen is the water would drain back down into the washer fluid tank, and so you would be using the motor a lot more just to pump it up to the screen, and yeah, it's just a pain. Also, if you've got a rear wash wipe, I believe this is also fairly essential in that. Now, this isn't in the rear wash wipe circuit, but it is in the front circuit, and I believe the motor. Now, I've just changed the motor on it actually, because I thought it was a motor problem. I didn't realise it was this. So I put a new motor on. It was only a tenner, and I'd previously burnt the motor out because it was iced up. And I put this one on. It was a cheapo, and it only had a single output. Now, I didn't realise that because the one that was on the car originally had a double out, so it had a feed for the rear, but they don't pump at the same time. The way it works now, there's only a 2-wire fitting, so the way it must work is that the pump, when you do the rear, it reverses the polarity and pumps the other way with a one-way valve in the not a gearbox as such, but in the pump, the new pump I've put on, it will only flow one way if the motor's running in one direction, and if it's working in the other direction, it'll only flow the other way. So it's just a polarity reversal, because there's only 2 wires. There's nothing else really that that could do that. All right, so that's the explanation for the rear wash wipe mechanism. And I'm wondering if that when the rear wash wipe is on, if it hasn't got this, it would also suck the fluid down out of the pipe to the windscreen. I'm not sure, but I am about to find out, because what I'm doing, I've ordered that part, and I only ordered it today. It won't be here till tomorrow. Just an Amazon part. They're only sort of 5 or 6 quid. But I bought locally a T-piece, a couple of T-pieces. So there's no check valve in that. So I'm going to fit that and then see, and just fit it overnight and see what the difference is. I'm going to show you now where the fitting is and where it goes and how to do it. Lovely, catch you in a minute. Right, so as mentioned, I'm going to replace the check valve with just a wire piece. I've got some of this pipe, keep that in stock anyway in the workshop, but you'll find this little thing here on the bulkhead. This is driver's side if you're in the UK, passenger side if you're in the well, anywhere else really. Washers there, and on the back of it the hose just pushes onto the back of the washer, which is that little hose there, and then you've got the feed into it is that one, and the other outlet is that one. So the valve in there stops it coming back, and what's happened is the valve has obviously seized up, or it's rotten, or it's bunged up, or whatever it is, and it's basically not pumping out at all out of that one. and only a little bit of pressure out of this one, so I'm guessing the spring sort of mechanism in there is jammed up or something. Listen, it's not even worth sort of drilling it apart. It's £5 for a new one, but like I say, I'm going to fit the T-piece for now, and then just when this part arrives tomorrow, I'll tackle that then. It's only a little push fit, and you fit it on one on there. There's a pipe tucked away in there. You can just get to it enough to put the Y piece or the new check valve on there, and then that'll be sorted. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll let you know how it goes. Right, so there we have it. The part is fitted in there. It is a little bit fiddly, just to get right in on that pipe that goes through to the far side. You do have to stretch that part through a little bit to get to it, otherwise, you know, this gap here is quite tight to get both hands into, but it is perfectly doable. It's not the end of the world, as they say. Right, let's see how this thing works. Right, I'm back in the workshop now. I'll show you something else on the car in a minute. Anyway, so that's completely solved the pressure issue on the washers, and it was literally down to that little part. There's just this tiny little check valve there, a one-way valve basically, anti-siphon valve. And I then tried the rear washers a couple of times, and then went back to the front ones. Very minimal delay, not even a second, well, maybe a second before the fluid got up to the washers. So how much difference the check valve makes, I'm not actually sure. I'll find out when I put a new one on, to be fair. But let me just show you something out on the car. Okay, so if you are going to replace the pump itself, for whatever reason, this is the front driver's side, or front offside if you're in the UK, or the passenger side if you're driving a left-hand drive one. And just behind here, okay, so there's the washer bottle there, that's the top up, and you can see the gubbins of it down there. But to access it is in there. Now actually that's not, you haven't got to take the whole inner arch cover off. There's a couple of small, these two clips, sort of push through clip fitting things you can remove, and then there's another one somewhere that I took off, I don't know where it is. And then this, I mean, it's not a tight, it's a little bit tight here. Just got a screwdriver in there, got that out, and you can just pull this back to about here, okay, and then you can actually access the pump, because the pump is pretty much just the other side of this, and you are going to lose your fluid, you know, just be aware of that. When you take that pump off, it's all coming out, and it's really easy. It is a plug, one or two wires depending if you've got one or two pipes depending if you've got rear wash wipe or not. You don't need any tools for that. To remove the clips, I've got a clip removing tool, but you can remove them with screwdriver and needle nose pliers. And actually pull the pump out, I just get hold of it, sort of thing, and rock it backwards and forwards, and it'll come out, and your hand will get wet, and then you can unplug the wires, just put the new one straight in, and replace the pipes. Now don't forget, if you've got a twin outlet, okay, one for the rear, you don't cross them over, because they are different. So this side, so the one nearest the outside of the, sorry about the noise, I'm an idiot on a motorbike going past. They were actually coloured, so there was like a white or clear outlet, that was the rear, and then the black outlet was the front. But if you're in, if you just pull it out and then you can't remember which way round, it's this side is the front and the inside is the rear. And as I say, it's just a polarity switch that reverses the pump so that you don't have the front and the back pumping at the same time. That's pretty much it, actually. Yeah, so there you have it. That was it. That's the process for the washer bottle valve replacement, and in fact the pump replacement as well, really, which I did earlier. I didn't film it earlier, but I did it earlier this morning. Other than that, like I say, it's totally doable. You don't need a bunch of tools. I didn't even take the wheel off to access the arch, inner arch cover. I just turned the wheel all the way to the right, and that gave me enough room to get my hands in there, to be fair. So yeah, very doable. The pump itself I got off of Amazon. That was 10 or 11 quid. A Febi one or something, made in Germany. F-E-B-I, yeah, Febi Bilstein. It was actually half price, so I figured it's quite a good one. Had the twin outlets and all that, but yeah, there's plenty on there. I checked valves on Amazon as well. It's amazing. I mean, you rebuild a car on Amazon just about these days. Who needs a car store? But yeah, there you go. So, well, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. If you get a minute, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. All helps the channel. Trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, obviously. At the moment, I'm struggling a bit to get there. I've not been putting too many videos on, but I am going to try and get more on there as and when. And stay safe. See you on the next one. Take care.